Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. Thought I would come on here to discuss a bit of an ethical conundrum that I found myself in the middle of recently. On my main channel, I dropped a review of the new Joji track, Will He? A song that, for all intents and purposes, I was kind of on the fence with. You know, there's some good qualities to it. There were some qualities that I thought were just kind of average, just okay. However, the problem is that I know Joji or George Miller. I've met the guy, talked to the guy on a semi-regular basis. I enjoy his content. Think he's a cool dude all around. And the friendship or acquaintanceship, whatever you want to call it, I forged with him came before he even started releasing music formally and selling it and marketing it in such a fashion that I would end up having to review it. Not just, mostly because my fans are just like, hey, have you heard this new album? Have you heard this new album? I just happen to have a lot of crossover audience with him. And there are a lot of people who follow me who are aware of his music and want to know my opinion on it. And this puts me in a position where I have to review the music of someone who I know on a somewhat personal basis. And obviously, when you're in that position, you're the word I'm looking for is you could potentially fall prey to a kind of inherent bias that, as a journalist, as someone who's trying to be objective going into a review, that you should have completely out of your mind. Now, I don't know. It just puts me in a situation that I'm not really sure if I want to handle in the most by-the-book way. I mean, the way that I guess it would make the most sense is just stop talking to him and stop being friends with him altogether and have no association with him whatsoever if I'm going to start reviewing his music. However, I would feel like a total asshole, and the guy's been too good to me just to be like, hey, I'm going to completely ignore you now that you're making music. Here's what I would like to think, and here's what I'm trying to do, and here's sort of my ambitions, and here's my sort of statement and promise to you guys. George and anybody else in the music industry whose music I may have to touch down on, I do not associate with unless I know that they are mature enough to understand that if or when I end up talking about a project that they come through with, that this is my job and it is nothing personal. And I may know or have met people in my line of work doing what I do since I started, but keep in mind, everyone who I meet, really from when the channel first started taking off, when I knew really nobody outside of you guys, everybody who I meet after that came after. You guys always come first, because without you guys, I would not be here to sort of start palling around with and only giving positive reviews to, or giving super positive reviews to, people who I know personally at the sacrifice of the trust and dependability that I have forged with you guys over the years would be like me running out on a longtime girlfriend or something, just because I met somebody different. So I guess just sort of keep in your minds that you guys come first, not only in the timeline of all this stuff, but in my mind as well. And a message to any artists who may want to contact me or be friendly toward me or think that that means something, anything more than just, hey, we're both working in the same industry and associating with one another because I may like you as a person and you just seem friendly and, it's kind of cool or good to know people in your surroundings. I especially feel better when that happens with me because, I do tend to sort of run like a little bit of a lone wolf. I don't, have super close ties with a whole lot of people in the music industry, with a whole lot of people in the YouTube world. I kind of do my own little thing. And, there are some people in the music review community who I'm very close with and I think are really great and I think the world of. But outside of this little community, I don't have a whole lot of super strong connections. I'm not like hopping on the phone every day to just, hey, Jax Films, what's up, dude? Saw your new video, you're so cute. Though I would love that. I would love to do some, pillow talk on the phone every night with Jax Films, but that's just not the life I lead. So a message to any artists out there who may try to associate themselves with me or may try to get close to me thinking that that's going to mean something in the end. Here's the thing. It's not. This is my job. It's nothing personal. Even if I don't know you, it's nothing personal, honestly, because even if I don't know you, I would say it's even less personal because I have no idea who you are. I don't know anything about you as a human being. I'm not just going to assume that everything I hear about in your music is a direct and a 100% true reflection of you as a person. There's a lot of hyperbole and there's a lot of exaggeration in songwriting and the music creation process. I'm not going to assume that, some album you made is like a documentary of your life or something. So I don't really know you personally. If I don't like your music, it's because I don't like your music, and that's really it. That's the beginning and the end of it. But this is my job. It's nothing personal. You can't expect me to go into a review thinking, oh, what is this person going to think of my opinion of their music? In the same way that it would be ridiculous for you to go into the studio and think, oh, what's Fantano going to think if the song isn't good? Like, that's the worst mindset you could put yourself in. I mean, maybe I say something in a review of your music or in a review of another person's music that makes you think, oh, that's a good point. Maybe I should approach things that way. That's fair, as long as you're sort of just taking the point for what it is and not just because I said it. That's fine. But don't rack your brain or give yourself any kind of level of emotional stress during the creation process, because there's already naturally a lot of stress in that process. Worrying about what I'm going to think, just like it's not my job and it's not my focus and it's not my prerogative to worry about what you're going to think about my opinions as an artist, because I don't really make my reviews for artists. There are a lot of artists out there who watch, and that's just is what it is. I make my reviews for music fans, okay? And a lot of music fans are artists and musicians as well. I'm not saying that if you're a musician, you can't watch. What I'm saying is I don't make my review with the artist I'm reviewing in mind. I'm not trying to communicate directly to you. I'm trying to talk to other music fans. If you still want to watch and if you still want to comment and you still want to have an opinion on what I'm saying, that's totally fine. I'm not saying I'm beyond critique. I'm not saying, that you can't answer me or that I'm just going to shoot back like, it's just an opinion. You can't argue with my opinion. That's not going to be my response, and that's not the argument I'm trying to make here. What I'm trying to say is that I don't make these with you in mind, so I'm not going to bend my opinion to make you feel better or stroke your ego. I'm here to sort of give my honest view of an album or an EP or a song or whatever to people who are as passionate about music as I am, or trying to get a good recommendation on something, or want to know what's the deal with a particular track or piece of music before they head into it. And that's all. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was enlightening. It certainly does help me to get these things off my chest, because this has been kind of fumbling around in my head, and I've been like, what's the best way to put this? What's the best way to deal with this? And I feel like this is good to kind of express and put this out there for anybody who, watches me and may be confused as to what my ethics on this are. And that's it. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. Over here next to my head is another video. I will actually link over to my Joji track review if you guys want to check that too. And love you, love you, love you. Forever.